Hi, Fitness Method family. As you know, our first Saturday class is coming up on April 27th. Now, with that being said, we also do programming, strength training on Saturdays as well. We are still going to provide that, as the strength training is going to be very important for you guys to keep in your weekly routine. So just as we do on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, that is going to remain the same. Now, if you're wondering, do I take the 10 a.m. class on Saturdays or do I do the strength training that TFM is providing? You can do both. When do you do it and at what time? It would be best if you could do the strength training prior to class, because as we know, class is going to be more cardio based. Or if you had to do it later in the day, or you wanted to at least separate the two trainings, it's still okay if you did the cardio in the morning and the strength training later in the day. It would be wise to refuel in the middle and then come back. Or you could still do the strength training. It doesn't have to be in stone, where we provide on Monday, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. Maybe Friday you couldn't come in and take class, but you could come in and do the strength training that was ahead for Saturday. And then when you come to Saturday's class, you just take Saturday's class. That will also work as well. As a reminder, it's really important to utilize the strength training that we're providing and to come on this side and use the machines and perform the exercises that we're doing for you. The reason why is because that's going to build a nice steady foundation and stability for all the functional movements we do when we're in class. So lat pull downs gets you better at your kipping pull-ups or your kipping toes to bar, things like that, okay? Leg machines will help you stay more stable when we're performing squats when we're not on a machine. Okay, so keep that in mind as we keep providing these videos for you. Hi everyone, welcome to Monday Strength Training. We're going to be doing legs and back today. We're going to be starting off with clamshells and reverse clamshells. So we did a little bit of this last week. Review is make sure your head's not cocked to the side, right? You can rest on your arm. Make sure your hip isn't sunken into the ground, all right, where this hip is hiked up. You have to make sure that you are neutral and you have that maintained. I'm going to be in a close to a fetal position. And then for clamshells, my feet are going to be together. And I'm going to open up as much as I can without rolling backwards or without using this to scrunch up. So everything stays steady, really pulling that open. I just don't want to be like 1, 2, really finding my max, coming back down. So that is clamshells. It's going to be 3 sets of 15 per leg. And then we're going to do reverse clamshells. So you can do 15 clamshells and then stay here and do the reverse clamshell. So now I'm staying connected through my knees. Same thing, I'm really searching. I'm trying not to deviate or pull the knee in or straighten the leg out with either of the movements. And again, not deviating through here or rolling forward or scrunching my hip up. This stays nice and quiet. And I'm just opening up as high as this is going to let me go while not moving this, keeping my core tight. All right, with the previous exercise, the clamshells, you can superset that, like in your warm-up sets as you guys are doing that, as you're building, okay? But definitely get rid of that exercise as you get closer to your weights that you're going to be choosing. So we're going to do pause, box, back squats, and your pause is going to be below parallel. So let's take a look at this real quick, right? I'm going to have my normal squat stance. This is a good height for me. My hip crease is below my kneecap, okay? Or if you had a marble on the top of your leg, that marble rolls back, right? That's how you know you're below parallel, okay? Or if it rolls forward, right, or you're envisioning that, it's gonna roll forward, you know you're not below parallel. All right, like I said, everything is normal in a back squat. My legs are gonna be the same. I'm screwing my feet into the ground, my core is tight. When I come down, I'm going to squat as if there is no box underneath me. Okay, so my hips are not deviating. All of this stays the same. Like I said, it's like I don't have a box underneath me. Versus these reps. I could never squat here in real life. I'd fall back. Okay, so I'm out of alignment. It's not come back for this one today and then rock forward. Or you stay here just a little bit. See, I'm relaxed on the box. I still need to keep tension for this one. driving straight up. This is going to be 3 sets of 8 reps across, so not building this time. All right, moving on, we're gonna start with some back exercises. So this is gonna be palms up or supinated, single arm rows. Right, I'm sitting nice and tall, my palm is gonna be up. I'm gonna pull that back to me, just like I'm doing a row, as I normally would if my palm was in a different position. I wanna make sure we're not pulling back as far as we can. See how the shoulder rounds forward with that? So it's not this far back. My shoulder's pointing forward, I'm shrugging. So I'm gonna think shoulders down. I'm always gonna maintain that push down feeling of using my lower traps. And then I'm gonna just pull back enough to where I can feel that side, pull back and flex. All right, now my shoulder's not pointed forward. And my elbow's not really that far back for this one. Just enough where I felt that flex. Pull back. All right, then I'm just gonna do the other arm. This is going to be 5 sets of 8 reps per arm. Moving on, our next exercise is going to be single leg abduction, all right? So we've done this machine before. This is the one where you push out with both legs, all right? We've talked about keeping the core neutral because a lot of people want to do this when they push this machine outward, or they're trying to do like a glute exercise. There's a lot of hip moving or back arching. You're keeping that nice and steady as you're performing the movement. So it being single-legged, both of these handles move at the same time. So I'm gonna just keep my one leg out of the machine, leave it relax, it's gonna go with it, and I'm gonna make sure I just put the emphasis and I'm driving with this leg, all right? So I got one leg quiet and dormant, and I got my other leg and my foot planted to do the movement. So I'm gonna drive out as far as I can, come back in, keep it nice and steady. Driving out, right, focusing on not pushing with this leg. And I wanna make sure my hips are staying steady, right? So I'm not manipulating anything through here. I'll show you a couple bad reps. People, oh, I can go wider if I do that, right? Get that little extra movement on the way out. You're losing your core, you're arching your back, you're actually flexing more of your hip flexors, you're not really opening up your hips like you think you are, okay? So focusing, like I said, core nice and tight. When I'm done, I'm just gonna switch legs, right? So I got my knee in the pad, my foot in the stirrup. This leg is just gonna be relaxed out here as I drive out. Again, if you feel like you're pushing maybe too much with this relaxed leg, you might be able to sneak it behind here. Just depends how tall you are and if your other leg's gonna get in the way. So either one will work, especially if you find yourself pushing too much with the other leg. This is going to be 5 sets of 12 reps per leg. All right, our last couplet of exercises is going to be first movement, neutral grip lat pull down. So there's some that are a little bit wider, a little bit more narrow. I've picked the more in between size. And neutral grip is just palms facing each other, okay? The normal things we talk about, right? Not shrugging, pulling your traps down. And I don't want to be too far forward where I'm leaning back for this one today. I'm going to be more upright, and I do want your handles to touch your chest for this one. Okay, again, I'm not arching my back too much. I still have my ribs closed down. My traps are pulled down. I have a slight lean back. My head's mostly out of the way. Right, again, making sure I'm touching my chest without rolling forward. So if this is happening at the top, you're probably too heavy or you're lifting too heavy for the movement. Lighter weight will focus and allow you to keep this down so you're not shrugging into your neck, and you can use the right muscles to pull your lat pull downs or your pull-ups. This is going to be 5 sets of 8 reps. Ending our strength training for Monday is going to be alternating leg extensions. Okay, just some reminders. You want that bolster somewhere between right at the base of the ankle to the bottom of the shin, right in through here. So somewhere right in through here is fine. Making sure that this is not stuffed really, really tight behind the knee. So I've got a lever back here to move this seat forward or backwards. So taller person, shorter person. I just want to make sure I can bend my leg back, and that's not right underneath here, somewhere here, so I have range of motion. You'll know if it's too stuffed, it'll be uncomfortable, okay? All right, so alternating leg extension. This is going to be 5 sets of 10 reps per leg. So that would be 1 and 1, 2 and 2, right? 3, getting a full lockout every time, 3. I know this range of motion might be foreign for some of us, so how do you know where to stop? Sometimes I'll kind of eyeball the weights, and as I get close, I know I'm ready for my other leg to engage and drive up, okay? If you're not used to this movement, it can be a lot, especially single leg. So lighter the better, just make it more moderate feel if you're not used to doing these leg extensions. Again, this is going to be 5 sets, 10 reps per leg.